The first scream came from the cockpit, not the passengers. Daniel Carter didn't notice it at first. He was too busy trying to keep his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, calm as the plane shuddered violently midair. Her tiny fingers clutched his sleeve, her wide eyes reflecting the flickering cabin lights. "Daddy, is the plane breaking?" she whispered. Daniel forced a soft smile, brushing her hair back. "No, sweetheart, just a little turbulence. I've got you." But then the intercom crackled, sharp, panicked, nothing like the calm voice passengers expect. "Is there anyone on board with military aviation experience? Anyone at all?" The entire cabin fell into a chilling silence. Daniel froze. For a moment, he closed his eyes. He had promised himself, no more flying like that, no more stepping into that world. Not after everything. Not after losing Emily. Not after choosing to be just a father. But the second call came, louder this time, edged with fear. "We need immediate assistance. This is not a routine situation." Lily looked up at him. "Daddy, you can help, right?" That was the moment everything changed. Daniel stood up slowly, his heart pounding not from fear, but from memories he had buried deep. "I'll go," he said quietly to the flight attendant, who looked like she might collapse from stress. Her eyes widened. "Sir, are you?" "I used to be," he replied. He didn't say more. He didn't need to. Inside the cockpit, chaos reigned. Captain Michael Reynolds was gripping the controls, sweat dripping down his forehead. The co-pilot, Jason Miller, was frantically trying to stabilize the navigation system. "We've got 2 unidentified fighter jets on our tail," Jason said, voice shaking. "They're not responding to standard communication." Daniel stepped in. Everything felt familiar, too familiar. "What's your altitude?" he asked calmly. Both pilots turned, startled by his presence, but something in his voice cut through the panic. 32,000 feet, Captain Reynolds answered quickly, "and dropping." Daniel glanced at the radar. Then he saw it. 2 F-16s closing in fast. But something was off. "They're not hostile," Daniel murmured. "How can you be sure?" Jason snapped. Daniel leaned closer, eyes narrowing. "Because they're not targeting you," he said quietly. "They're reacting." Before anyone could respond, the radio burst to life. "This is Falcon Lead. Identify the passenger Daniel Carter immediately." The cockpit went dead silent. Captain Reynolds slowly turned to Daniel. "What did they just say?" Daniel didn't answer. He didn't have to. The radio crackled again, more urgent this time. "Falcon Lead to civilian aircraft. Confirm presence of Commander Daniel Carter. Repeat, confirm now." Jason's hands trembled. "Commander." Daniel exhaled slowly. "I haven't used that title in years." Captain Reynolds grabbed the mic. "This is Captain Reynolds. We have a Daniel Carter on board. What is going on?" There was a pause. Then, "Oh God, it's really him." The voice on the other end shifted, from authority to disbelief. Outside the aircraft, the 2 F-16 pilots exchanged stunned glances. "That's Carter," one of them said. "The Carter. The one who flew the Black Ridge mission. The one they said was gone." The second pilot shook his head. "No way. He's supposed to be retired or worse." But there was no mistake. It was him. Back in the cockpit, Daniel stepped forward. "Put me on comms." Captain Reynolds hesitated for a split second, then handed him the mic. Daniel's voice was calm, controlled, unmistakable. "This is Daniel Carter. Identify your situation." The response came instantly. "Commander, sir, we didn't know you were on board." Daniel's jaw tightened. "That doesn't answer my question." There was a pause, then urgency flooded back in. "We have a rogue A-10 in the sector. Pilot is unresponsive. It's armed and veering toward your flight path." Jason's face went pale, armed. Daniel's mind snapped into focus. An A-10 Warthog built for destruction. If it collided with a civilian aircraft, there would be nothing left. Why hasn't it been neutralized? Daniel demanded. We can't get a lock, and sir, the pilot, he's one of ours. Daniel closed his eyes briefly. That was the problem. No one wanted to pull the trigger. The plane shook again, harder this time. Lily screamed from the cabin. Daniel's heart clenched. He had two worlds now. One in the sky. One sitting in seat 14A. And both needed him. Bring me full control of communications, Daniel said. Captain Reynolds nodded without hesitation now. Done. Daniel took a breath. Then spoke. This is Commander Daniel Carter to the A-10 pilot. If you can hear me, respond. Static. Nothing. Then, a faint broken voice. Carter. Daniel's eyes widened slightly. James, he said, disbelief creeping in. Is that you? Memories crashed back. James Walker. His wingman. His brother in everything but blood. The man who had once saved his life. James, listen to me, Daniel said firmly. You're not in control, your systems are compromised. You need to disengage. The response was weak, strained. I can't, something's wrong, targeting system. The radar beeped violently. He's locking onto us, Jason shouted. Captain Reynolds gripped the controls. We're out of time. Daniel's voice hardened. James, you trust me. Silence. Then. Always. Daniel swallowed. Then shut it down, kill the engines now. That'll send me into a freefall. I know. I might not make it. Daniel's voice broke for the first time. I know. Seconds felt like hours. Then, the radar changed. He's descending, Jason yelled. He's pulling away. Outside, the A-10 dipped sharply, veering off course. The F-16 pilots exhaled in relief. He did it. The cabin slowly stabilized. Passengers began to breathe again. And in seat 14A, Lily looked toward the cockpit door, whispering, My daddy fixed it. Minutes later, the plane landed safely. Emergency crews surrounded the runway. As Daniel stepped out, holding Lily's hand, something unexpected happened. The F-16 pilots, now on the ground, stood at attention. One of them stepped forward, eyes filled with respect. Sir, we thought we lost you. Daniel shook his head gently. You didn't lose me, he said. I just had something more important to fight for. He looked down at Lily. She smiled up at him. As they walked away from the chaos, Lily tugged his hand. Daddy, were you a hero? Daniel knelt in front of her, smiling softly. No, sweetheart, he said. I was just someone who did what he had to for the people he loves. And as the sun set behind them, one thing became clear. Sometimes, the greatest heroes aren't the ones flying the jets. They're the ones who choose to come home.